I'm Lila Boehland, and I'm a fiber artist. My preferred medium is felt. I do wet felting, and after the wet felting is completed, I use needle felting for detail. So my final product usually is the 2D wall hangings. I started doing fiber art 8 years ago. I took a scarf class, and then my adult daughters did not want scarves. One said, I'd really like to have a wall hanging. So that sent me on the journey of, instead of working really, really thin, to work really thick and to add the detail and to create something that she'd want to put on her wall. So it's been an 8-year journey. My style has changed tremendously. Felt was the first fabric. It was before anyone thought to spin or weave. Our far long ago ancestors made felt. So I'm just doing a very ancient craft and creating art with it. But right now I'm doing wall hangings. They're wet felted and then needle felted for detail. And I just love it. It's been the most wonderful gift in retirement to find something that I love to do. I get my inspiration from the outdoors. Even if I'm indoors looking out the window, I have the bird feeders, and I just really love to do birds. And I realize that my bird feltings don't look like photograph. They look like an artist's interpretation of a bird. But to me, what I try to do is to capture the essence of the bird. So I have done lots of different birds. I love the owls. Probably my go-to is always the chickadee. I love to hike. I love to be outside gardening. So, you can kind of tell what season it is by what I'm felting, because if my flowers are coming up in the perennial garden, if I'm on a hike and I see the wildflowers, they're going to percolate. They're going to gel in my brain. And I'm going to find them on my felting board before too long. So many people have said, I don't understand what this is. How do you do it? Do you buy some felt and paint on it? And it's like, nope, that's not what we do. So felting is a process of using wool, mostly merino wool from the merino sheep. Sometimes I use Corriedale wool from the Corriedale sheep, or Lincoln locks from the Lincoln sheep. But I now have the ability to do the background in a very great way because I have a drum carder. And the drum carder allows me to take, like, in the background of the chickadee. I don't want it to be just gray or just white. So what I want is a little bit of each of these, and I use the drum carder to create the color that I want. Every single little fiber, there are just millions of little fibers. Everyone has scales on it. So you do the layout, and after the layout, you use warm water and soap, and that causes the scales to open up. And then with agitation, all of those fibers start to intermingle. The scales are open, so in the process, the scales start to close down, and you have a mat. In the end, I shock it with hot water and cold water, opening up and closing, opening up and closing. And that creates a really dense mat. I end up with something like this, which is almost there, quite rough. And then after I do the needle felting, it becomes this.